I don't know.
That was a look. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Allison, why don't you look at the camera?
But I'm looking at...
Can you read the hat? Is it going to be backwards for everybody?
I don't know. It's not my problem.
So the other day, we love a good bit. And let me tell you, Allie has...
I really leaned into
Allie
this.
has
and I've kind of made it my personality.
Allie's more than leaned in. It was already your personality before everybody else knew it was your personality.
It was.
You're just kind of like revealing to the world
just like
who you actually are.
Just a side of me. But a targeted ad got me.
It sure as heck did. That says, sorry about my husband, in case you can't read it. In case it's backwards. Maybe I'll try to flip the video around for everybody. But
it's a dope hat.
It is, in fact, a really awesome hat. And I love a bit, and I don't mind being the butt of the bit. So
you didn't have to say it like that.
Also, for this evening, we're on a bit of a time crunch.
Oh, we are.
Because Allison slept like garbage last night.
And I haven't been feeling that great.
No. So somebody took some NyQuil before the podcast.
And I did. Let's go.
So.
And it makes me a little loopy.
My plan is to extend this podcast as long as possible just to see what comes out of her mouth. All right. So.
You'll really get my strong opinions then. But we don't need them.
We sure will.
We don't need them.
All right. This is episode of the Strong Opinions Weekly Held. I did not check before we started. The Strong Opinions Weekly Held
It's the
podcast.
episode one too many.
Ooh, you mixed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't say nobody cares, so now you're saying it's one too many. Let's do it.
Okay. That's obnoxious. Do I read? Yes, I read.
I do want to reread said article.
I mean,
because let's just skim it.
Okay, you can let people know what we're skimming.
So, I guess we'll start here. There's an article that I read this week. It was shared in a group, design group that I'm in. Somebody was asking me how to write. They wanted to write better, and so people were sharing articles that they think are very well written, and that's how I found this. It's called Make Something Heavy, and it is on the Working Theories.
Do you read?
Substack. I guess not. But it's a very, very good article, and we are going to cut right now because Allie and also I need to reread it so we can discuss.
And action.
Action. We are done. Okay. So I shared this with Allie. And normally I share stuff about my work and things, and she always listens. But for the first time, Allie was like, hey, I have some thoughts about what you sent. I read it, and I agreed with some things, and I didn't agree with some things. So let's summarize kind of what the article's talking about first, and then we can dig into things we do or do not like about it. So the article is called Make Something Heavy. And it is kind of like a article trying to break down kind of like the current, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Environment, the current status quo. The current state of creating creators. I think a lot of AI stuff kind of also triggered some of this, but also just in general how social media trends. It is trending towards what the article refers to as making light things, throwaway things that don't hold a lot of weight, things that you make it once and it's discarded, people consume it quickly and they move on. And that's because all of these algorithms for attention that we have these days, that's what they prioritize. They prioritize people scrolling through and drawing you further in with quick little things that are created. And this article basically says if you only make light things, there are a lot of effects that you will feel if you are somebody who is creative, which is you can feel you don't have purpose. You can feel that you are an imposter, what you are making doesn't matter, and so you aren't good at whatever you are creating. You don't feel like you're getting satisfaction out of the work that you do. and you feel like directionless. And so what they contrast it with is like heavy things that like you purposefully have to put a lot of effort into and are the opposite of light things that matter, things that resonate with you, and require you to put effort in that you don't see an immediate result from. So like you can't just post this and like get the quick hit of dopamine that you might want. It requires investment. And they say from heavy things,
and specifically, I want to pause right here.
Okay, go ahead.
Specifically working in what they call heavy mode.
Okay.
And
how did you read
Well,
that
no,
to
I
say?
just meant to say, like, not only creating these heavy things, but the work itself.
Like the way that you are working.
Or you're even getting there is within
Right,
heavy mode
right.
as well.
Yeah.
Just adding that on to what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. So what were things that you were thinking about as you read this? As somebody who, I'm not going to say you aren't creative. You are very good at. You love interior design. You love creativity and design in a very specific, like a different way that I do. Like you love the design of spaces
in a very light way. You know, like I think what was interesting to read about this is that I think I consumed it in a completely different way than you did.
Cool.
And that's totally okay. I don't think that that's necessarily right or wrong, but you know, I understand completely the notion of where this is going and what it's getting at. But what I did think was interesting was that to be careful with the mindset and the maybe self-pressure people can put on themselves of, if I don't achieve heavy, is my work life meaningless? And I just don't think that that's the most positive or healthy mindset, because not everybody in your life is going to achieve this great, heavy, lasting impact of something. You know, that's just part of it. And whether it be, I guess in your world, a startup or whatever, you know, I think it's okay to live in the contentment of what you're doing. Now, that doesn't mean to be complacent, but to be content. And because I think I looked at this through the lens of like teaching.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because I think a lot of what you do in educating it's like is creative.
It is, but like obviously people think like teaching and it's the heavy things, but you know, I almost look at it as like it's a very light, in the sense of I'm still with young kids. You know, you get a batch for a year and then you get them where they need to be and then you start over again. And then so it's kind of, you just kind of feel.
I get it. I see what you mean by that. Like you're saying, like it's very brief. It's short-lived.
Yeah.
Like you might be teaching for a long time, but you're teaching a new set of kids the same things.
Yeah.
And you restart every year. That's interesting that you think of that as light.
I mean, I do. I don't.
The way that this article thinks about it.
Because with like heavy, it talks about how we put the value on it. I mean, honest to goodness, I don't know how many people are listening to this, but I'd love if this clip was shared. How many of you that have children have reached out to like assign value and weight to your kids' teachers? You know, like.
What do you mean?
The things that feel heavy to me and make it feel like, man, that was really worth it, was when somebody else like noticed or saw the work that I did and like what I did for the kid. That's what made it feel heavy.
Right.
And so to me,
unseen work,
9 times out of 10, I don't hear, you know, that positive praise or positive feedback. And so things can not feel heavy at times. And that's okay. I know that what I'm doing is, you know, impactful, but when I die, are they going to be like, she achieved this big thing in her work? And I mean, no, they're not going to say that. And that's okay. That's okay.
I think one thing interesting about this, I've got a follow-up question related to that. In the article, one thing that they talk about is that when you do a heavy thing, when you work on something heavy, you don't need external validation to know that what you're doing holds weight.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, maybe you don't get, like you said that unless a parent, I'm not going to say only, but like you mentioned, when a parent notices the effort and work an improvement in their child and says something to you, that's when you feel weight.
Yeah.
Like that's when you feel weight. But is there...
But see...
Do you feel weight just... I don't know. Like, okay, for example, one week, there's a kid who shall remain nameless, but they struggled for most of the year, and we are now 3/4 of the way through the year, and just now the kid is really starting to get it.
Yeah, I mean,
and starting to like figure out to read. And I remember you coming home and showing me a video of the kid reading on his own, which is just like a huge step for a child.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, and you were so excited about that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think that's
I know
part
that
of the things.
That
but, like,
has to feel pretty...
I think that the notion with heavy is like, you know, I feel that a lot with what I do, is definitely like you get to see, especially teaching such a young age and such a big foundation year in like their learning and their school career. I do have those moments a lot, but I think the thing that I took away from this about the heaviness is like for maybe creative people, like what you do, you're not going to feel like you've achieved heavy until whatever it is that you've taken a lot of time and effort and energy into creating or designing or whatever has taken off or noticed.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's okay if it's not, you know, like, and I think that's where I was like, I don't love that. I don't love the pressure of people to feel it's okay if it's not ever made or noticed. And that's just life. And I think it's part of the challenge as humans. We have to be content and being at peace, but it's okay to have a mindset or goals moving forward for your work, I guess. But like, it's not always going to be your startup makes it, or this design you did is now implemented everywhere. You know, like,
right.
I don't know.
All right, let me give my perspective on reading this then.
All right.
So
but time out. I don't disagree with it wholly. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally
I've got
see
as many. I've got a very similar take on it, in the sense that like there are some things that I agree with and some things that I don't. I have my own opinion on. So what I feel about this article is that I've run into this myself personally. There is like a give and take. The article talks about light things as if it's like a negative. But I think that there is like a symbiotic relationship, because to create something heavy, you first have to find where you start. It is, I think the path of creating something with weight requires you to first find the path to that. And you can't just like wake up one day and be like, I'm gonna make something heavy, and just be like, boom, I'm making something heavy now. I think that you have to do a lot of different things, potentially throw away things, like light things, throw away things that are like quick and aren't like your life's work, so that you can creatively explore like a very wide range until something resonates either with you or with the people that you're sharing it with. And like, it's like a give and take, a yin and a yang, because like you do need to identify something that is resonating. I think what people fail to do, or what people do, is they get that hit of dopamine off of something that like went really well, and they just try to make a lot more of those little things to keep getting that. And what this is saying is like, when you find something that matters to you creatively, it's okay to like pull back from like the public part of it, and to like invest in that, invest in something that you believe in, and something that you think you need to like put time and effort, even if there may not be, like what you said, you're like, well, your heavy thing may never be a success. And I think the point is like, it doesn't have to be. This is the way that I think about it. from a creative standpoint. Now, from like a business standpoint, like obviously like you want your business to succeed. But I'm actually giving a talk on this.
Spoiler alert.
At some point. It is currently going to remain nameless where and how I'm going to be giving this talk. But it is
redacted.
It is gonna be
that was
it is going to well okay so actually this is actually going to be part of my talk when I go to LambdaConf in May. Is that when I'm going?
When you leave on Mother's Day? We'll get back to that another day, but that's okay.
So I'm speaking at LambdaConf, and what I want to like talk about is like ambitious projects. And that's what I think heavy things are, is like when you hit on something that you think matters, but it seems like it's going to require a lot of investment, a lot of time. It might be something that you don't know how to do it, or like what the end of the path looks like, and is going to require a lot of exploration to get there. Like that is when you feel according to this article, and I think I agree with this part, like that's when you start feeling like internal like satisfaction with your work. I think you can feel like success with light things, but I think the one thing that the article says is like over time, when you just create a lot of light things and nothing's sticking, you don't feel like you've gotten anywhere. Like you made it, you threw it away. You made it, you threw it away. Yes, you got better at a few skills, but now you just got a pile of unconnected little things. And ambitious projects are something that you take on that you can build on, and it grows and you get a lot out of it. And specifically one point of that I want to talk about in the article is that I've taken on a number of like ambitious projects myself that none of them succeeded. Like none of them found success in the way that like the project should have. I started a podcast about Elm way back before we had Palmer. I'm not like some like podcast star who has continued to do that podcast for years, and now I'm like making a ton of money. However, I got a job out of it. I met a lot of really cool people in the Elm community. You know,
sorry, it's the night.
No, you're good. You're good. It's like when you take on something like that.
Well, yeah,
there are a lot of like
added
rewarding benefits along the way, because you have put effort and extra time into something, regardless of how the outcome may be.
I just think that this is obviously definitely meant for the heavy and light things and like your career. And I think what is the most applicable thing like to everybody is also taking this but also applying it into like a work-life balance.
Sure.
Because if you are digging deep and if all you ever did was heavy, where would that leave your relationship with like
it's a yin and a yang,
us
for sure.
with the kids
Absolutely.
and things like that? So I totally agree with the sentiment. I see what they're getting at. I just think that I don't know.
I would also like to say
be careful of like the mindset,
right?
You know,
I would also like to add that like this is specifically talking to like creative people who like want to work on creative projects and find fulfillment from them. However, I think if you could also read this article as somebody and be like, it is okay if work is a light thing.
Yeah.
And your family is a heavy thing. I think you can find like fulfillment, all the things that this article is talking about, like working on something that has weight. If you quit looking for that in your career,
sometimes
when you have a family, obviously some people don't, and like they have to, like you have to find your weight wherever you find it. But like my family, if ever I'm not feeling just like creatively fulfilled in my day job, when I clock out and go spend time with my family, like that is the weight in my life. You know, like I am giving my all. I find a ton of fulfillment from it every day. It is challenging. I have 3 kiddos that rely on me. I've got a wife who relies on me, who I want to have a good relationship with her. I want my children to have a good relationship with me. I want them to be good humans. You know, like all of this, that is a heavy, that is weight. That is heavy.
Yeah.
And that's okay if that's also the only heavy thing that you have.
But it's also, you know, if you think about it, if you have the heavy and you're working in the heavy, while we feel so fulfilled with kids and our relationship, like when you have heavy, you do need the light, because like
you have to be able to balance it.
You have to be able to take like a breather, and it's okay if something becomes just the
right. I think like what we do with this podcast, you know, like a family is heavy, but you know what's light? All these fun little stories that we share. For example, why this one you told me, I did not see this happen, but Allie saw this, and this is like this is like going in the history books of like classic Debbie.
I don't know.
This is our 3-year-old,
our middle child. I don't know if let's see.
Wilson, he's obsessed with Auburn marching band.
All things band.
Loves watching the Auburn's pregame show, and as part of the pregame show, they do the national anthem. And so
God bless America.
God bless America.
I'm so sorry.
Auburn fight song. And Wilson periodically, once a week, will just go through the whole lineup.
Yeah, and he has like a little American flag that he pulls out. I mean, incredible. Our 3-year-old knows the words to the Star Spangled Banner, and he also knows the words to God bless America. So in true like middle child fashion, he is standing on this ottoman. And he's in this like giant oversized
his nap shirt
t-shirt, and he will direct the band while they're playing God Bless America, and he is shouty singing from the top of his lungs, stand beside her in diapers. And it was just
what a great line.
Everything.
Stand beside her in diapers.
So that's really the words to God Bless America.
It is. So yeah, that's like for every. I think that when you are creating something with weight, something that's heavy, light things are a part of it.
For sure.
Light things guide you to the heavy thing, and like as you create the heavy thing, I think you naturally have things that you can share that are lighter and more ephemeral. That can like keep the motivation going to continue down the road of a heavy thing.
I also think you can't identify what's light until what's heavy. You know, like you didn't know until you decided this is heavy in value and taking whatever you want it to, and be like, well, actually what that was
that's true.
Actually turned out to be pretty light. It felt heavy at the time.
That's true.
And I think it's not always.
Maybe everybody's heavy is a little different. Like maybe somebody finds like deep fulfillment in something that somebody else might consider to be light, but they actually find a lot of like.
That's just life.
Interesting.
But knowing everybody's different. Be respectful of it.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So that was
a lot.
That was a great topic.
That was good.
I've got a couple more, and this is going to be so fun because that NyQuil is clearly hitting. Okay. So
I'm feeling light.
Before we dive in. Before we dive into, I've got one more like longer topic like that I want to talk about.
Are we doing a long topic? And what? Okay, nope. Go ahead. We are. Woo. Okay.
We can keep it short.
Okay.
All right. I've got to tell this story. The other night, so every Wednesday we have church, and before church we go to the loveliest, most mediocre deli in town. It's called Chappie's Deli.
Chappie's.
And kids eat free. So you already know the Kings are going to be there every Wednesday before church.
And every Saturday morning for breakfast.
We do go a lot of Saturday mornings for breakfast. It's great. So we were there. And they have like these managers. And you know they're a manager because they wear like a colored polo versus just like
and they're all so nice.
The standard black polo. Everybody's great. We've been there so much. They all know us.
Like an invested
they know our
interest
names.
In our children.
They were they saw when like our oldest was like a baby. So like now everyone's just like always. All the managers come by at some point and say, "Hey." Well, one of the managers comes by and is like, "Hey, have y'all ever been to
some restaurant in downtown Montgomery?
Some restaurant that's downtown. It's so great. They have like biscuits and donuts, and it's all made in house." I'm like, why are you pitching us another restaurant like right now? Like you're a Chappie's manager. Like you know we love Chappie's, and we were there for breakfast this time, and she's pitching us on like going to eat breakfast there. And I'm like, I don't think this is how business works.
Yeah,
like you don't
this is not...
pitch your loyal customers to go to breakfast somewhere else instead.
Yeah.
And at
first I thought we were getting broken up with.
It was
I was
weird.
like, man.
And at some point she says something like, yeah, you should come down to see us.
Yeah.
And then
she goes, and this is my last day.
That's when it clicked. I was like, oh, see us. I was like, wait, is she double timing? Like, is she going to work manager at Chappie's and work there too? She's like, no. She was like, this is my last day. I'm going to be the GM of this new place, and you got to come down and see us. Parking's a little difficult, but like, you got to come down there. And she kept going on and on. And me and Allie just look at each other, and we're just like, what's going on right now?
I thought I heard one of our kids call out. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to listen to me. It's fine.
I was there when this happened.
Right. But like the people, how am I supposed to have give and take?
All two of them can understand, oh, one of their kids called out.
But did anybody come out?
Nobody came out.
Did they call out?
Called out. It looks like Palmy might still be awake, so don't come at me, bro.
Anyway, we had a Chappie's manager try to poach us. They tried to, and she was going around to all the tables doing that. On her last day, I'm like, y'all need to get rid of her. Y'all need to
look. You've got too much loyalty to Chappie's.
Cut it out, as they say.
Too much loyalty.
Cut it out. There we go. Got it. What's that from? Full House?
Yes.
Anyway, it was crazy. Tried to poach. Crazy.
Chappie's ride or die.
Most ridiculous of all time. All right. Last big topic.
Do it.
I love being busy. Love it. Love being busy. Like,
Will gets this weird
let me tell you,
on like having a full schedule.
A full schedule. I'm not talking about work stuff. Like, I could have I could have like a regular chill day, but like nothing's I'm not gonna say nothing's worse, but like a week where all we do is like work during the day, and then the kids come home and we have nothing to do in the evenings, and then it's bedtime, and that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like
for those weeks.
When that's the entire week, it's just like the whole week runs together.
Yeah.
And like then it's gone. And I love busy weeks. I love busy days. I love busy schedules because
if you did what I did for a day, you would hate it.
Well, I don't do what you do. So I love being busy. Allie's like, I listen to children all day, every day.
My days are busy.
You sit in silence.
So you're ready to tackle the crazy schedule because
you're not
even
wrong.
though work is stressful, it's a quiet stress.
It's a quiet stress. I'm alone. I don't really have a lot going on.
But no, Will loves the busy.
That's true, because you do get all the people that I see when we are busy, you've already seen the entire day at school. So that's fair.
Yeah.
I get that perspective. However, I love being busy. And let me tell you, we're currently in like busy season.
We are.
Love it. Let me just tell you about today. Today, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have soccer practice at 5:15. Mm-hmm. And Thursdays is games at 5:15.
Or 6:15. Yeah.
Sometimes 6:15. I think only like once or twice this year, but 5:15. So today, I go drop the boys off in the morning, work all day. Got a fresh cut.
You're hiding the fresh cut, man.
I mean, nobody can tell. Nobody knows what my hair looks like anyway to know if it's fresh cut or not.
I'll find some pictures in the archive.
Anyway. And afterwards, I go and pick the boys up. Mm-hmm. I come home. Everybody plays outside for like 30 minutes. Then we have to get them back inside.
This diva asked me to take his headshots for him, and that's a story for another day on how difficult Will King was for me to snap a picture of him in the backyard.
Okay. I've never had headshots done, ever.
Yeah.
And I have none. Like, I have no headshots. And I'm speaking at a couple conferences. And guess what conferences need, apparently?
They need a headshot.
A picture of you that looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and I had it under control.
I've got this beautiful wife and adorable children. So, like, yeah, nobody wants pictures of me. So, like, I got none. Anyway.
Well, now you have some because you have a dope photographer.
My wife did take some fantastic photos of me, if I do say so myself.
We'll
and afterwards, I enjoyed coffee from the hot stuff mug.
He's feeling himself.
Anyway, so came home, had some coffee while the kids got to play outside for 30 minutes, then got them on side, packed all our bags because it's soccer practice time, got the kids all dressed, got in the car, left. We go to soccer practice. Soccer practice is fun. Get to see everybody. The kids are playing. Palmer's practicing. After practice, guess what we get to do? We go eat. There's this restaurant right by the soccer field, and they've got like a little like turf play area and like music going. So you just let the kids, they all go play, and it's like a bunch of the people who like practice with you also then go eat at this restaurant. So all the kids go run out and play together while y'all just sit and eat your dinner and relax. It's fantastic.
It's great.
And we're busy, and then we come home and it's like 7:30, and we put the kids straight in the bath, wash them up, put them in bed. Boom.
I will say,
it's a full schedule.
I'm about
to
do something
great.
crazy. I'm about to do something really crazy right now and say something that we'll just call it the NyQuil talking. So,
guys, I don't know what's about to happen here.
I do love the busyness, but one thing that makes me so proud of us and our marriage and like our teamwork is when it is the late night, we're coming in, everybody's got to get in the bath and in the bed.
Man,
that
it is
like
well-oiled
machine.
We crush bedtime.
We
Let
do.
me tell you.
I mean, we
like king bedtime is just
dunk. And, like, if it was an amazing race challenge, I'm like, I'm sorry to all you losers out there. Like, we got this.
Put a timer on it. We're killing it.
We are. And I think I'm like, it's in those moments, I'm like, man, I really love them.
We don't even talk.
No.
Like, we don't even have to be like, all right, hey, you get them and then you do this. I'm going to do this and I'll do that. And it's like, no.
It is smooth.
We've got it done. It's like, we get them all in the tub. We give them 5 or 10 minutes to splash around and have a little fun. Then I come in. Boom, scrub down everybody right in a row. Boom, boom, boom.
And it's just nothing better. It's clean, like, I've got jammies out. And then
while I'm doing that, Allie has gone and already pulled jammies for everybody and has
laid everything out on their beds.
And as everyone's scrubbed, we pull them out one by one in order because Davis is the youngest. So Davis gets pulled. And by then, he's now hit the point of bath time where he starts hitting everybody because he's done. So pull him out. He's good. We scrub him, give him a toothbrush. He's fine. You could give him a toothbrush. He's distracted for like 30 minutes. Loves a toothbrush. All right. Next, we pull out Palmer.
Yep.
Because Palmer is usually not napping at school, and the boys take like
long
big naps during the day so they can last a little longer. Palmer's like dead by the end of the day.
Yep.
So then we pull her. Allie, at that point, focuses only on Palmer and just does all of her stuff, gets her in bed while I take over for the boys. I get Wilson out. He gets scrubbed. Get him his toothbrush. Davis still
like
brushing teeth.
Synced of like I exit Palmer's room as you're getting Davis's sleep sack zipped up. I take the baby.
It's
like
fantastic.
It's great.
Let me tell you.
Way to go, man. Way to go.
Thank you. We rock.
We do.
Rock bedtimes.
We do.
Anyway.
I don't know if we rock anything else, but
it's not true. I think the King family is fantastic.
We are,
and I hope all of you feel the same way about your family. Yeah. And if you're not feeling that fantastic about your family, don't ask us for advice because we don't know how to do. We don't know how your family works. But I'm always happy to listen if you need to like talk about it. We'll be happy to listen and talk. We love talking family. So
for sure.
If any of y'all want to just like bend an ear, bend it.
Not that we really know anything. They're 5, 3, and 1.
We know our kids very well. So obviously we know how to handle it. But
you're going to look back at this and be like, those two youngsters.
Yeah. I don't know. I just love it. I love this phase. Like everybody is like right in this phase where like everything's fun. Everything's exciting. Things are like volatile. Mm-hmm. You know, like emotions are kind of all over the place. But they all like love playing together and love being together. Stay tuned for
the book I'm reading. Speaking of emotional,
we'll get to that.
Volatile situations.
We don't have time for that. Let me tell you, Allie will talk about that for a long time. So we'll save that for the next one.
Yeah.
All right. I've got one more.
Okay.
I got one more little.
This is 35 minutes.
I know, but we'll finish on this because this is crazy.
Lordy. Sorry. so long.
We got to tell everybody about the toothpaste, though.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I don't understand this. I'm going to be really honest. I'm very puzzled.
I need help.
If this is a joke that somebody played on us.
There's no way. Okay, let me just tell you what happened. And then I want anybody else, if this happened to you, I need to know. Last week.
When we were recording.
While we were recording, I got we use Capital One.
Okay,
and so,
land the plane, man. You just get text updates when the card's used. Boom.
It's impossible to tell a good story with you around.
Will gets text updates.
I get text updates. And in the middle of the podcast, I get a text update that we spent $14 at Walmart. One, we never go to Walmart.
No.
Ever.
It's not great here.
It's not great here. You don't go to Walmart in Montgomery. You just don't.
You don't do it.
I'm like, what?
He has the audacity to look at me and goes, did you buy something from Walmart?
Well, I just got to check because I'm like, there's no chance I did. Maybe you bought it online and shipped it. I don't know. Neither one of us did this. So I'm like,
crap,
somebody's got our card. But I don't cancel it because it was only $14. And it is such a hassle to like get a new credit card. I lose them at least like once every year and a half. I have to like redo everything. It's annoying. It's bad. It's a problem. I'll work on it. So I don't want to cancel it. So I just sit there and wait. I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's another purchase that happens. And then at that point, I will, like alert, cancel this credit card, refund these payments, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
You're just laying in wait now because you let the toothpaste slide.
Nothing happened.
Spoiler alert.
No more purchases. None.
A couple days go by.
And I forget it. I forget about it. A couple days go by. I get a package on our doorstep from Walmart. Inside is a tube of Sensodyne toothpaste.
My gums have been a little sensitive, so maybe I should try it out.
$14, I guess, for a tube of toothpaste, and it got shipped to us.
It's real weird.
Neither one of us, it was bought with our credit card.
Yeah.
But neither one of us did it. Because neither one of us buy anything from Walmart.
No. Wasn't me.
And so now there's this big old mystery. Who bought toothpaste and shipped it to our house with our credit card without us knowing?
Clearly somebody that has our credit card number.
Clearly somebody who has our credit card. And that reminds me, there's this tweet that I read.
Oh,
this guy, okay, this is the last thing. This guy tweeted this tweet and was like, you're going to say that I'm not charitable? There's been a guy buying pizza once a quarter on my credit card and I haven't canceled it yet. And he just like lets this guy he's like, there's a one-time pizza purchase literally every quarter on his credit card and he just lets it happen.
I would have laughed if you not told me that the other day.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I laughed the first time. You don't get a second laugh for them.
She's so difficult to deal with. Anyway, it's been real. She wants to go to bed because she's quilled. She's been quill pilled.
Or just say
quill pilled. How about that?
Stop.
Just got to come up with a catchphrase for it because you love doing it. Allie loves a NyQuil night.
I do. That sounds like
it's a
problem, and I don't have a problem.
She doesn't have a problem, but she loves a NyQuil night.
Everybody deserves a good night of sleep.
This one time when we were having a baby, they gave her an Ambien.
Oh, let's not talk about the Ambien times here.
She hasn't had one since, but like she still talks about it to this day.
Goodbye. We rambled for too long. Sorry about my husband.